Kody. The fact that there's these sacred cows that I can't talk about freely to you about my emotions and my feelings is a big indicator of some things that are wrong. Because I don't feel like I ever would be on a equal playing ground. Okay, maybe it's time for me to lawyer up.
I don't know how I feel about Christine and David. I know they're married. It seems they're happy. So if they're happy, I love it for them. But I think that was traveling at the speed of lightning, the relationship, the courtship, and everything up until they got married. But hey, to each their own. I'm here for Meri celebrating her accomplishments. I believe that house is the reason why Kody never forgave her, because she didn't keep it in the family and decided to, in the Brown family, and decided to keep it in her side of the family. That's my opinion. And I'm here for Janelle calling a spade, because Kody thinks he and Robin are the smartest tools in the box, and actually they're not. And I hope Janelle and Meri take him to the cleaners and really get their share, because they deserve 2/3 of whatever assets Kody has. So if you take McMansion and Coyote Pass, add that together, 2/3, Meri gets her third, Janelle gets her third, and Kody and Robin can get their third, and everyone can keep it stepping, in my opinion. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, share, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Sister Wives, season 19, episode 8. So we have Christina with her children. Everyone is there, but Gwendolyn is the only one that's not there. So she's having David meet her children. I assume this is on camera. She says he's already met some of her children, but he hasn't met Gwendolyn, I think, and Peyton. So Tony's there, and you know it's going to be ox galore. Tony's going to say something inappropriate. The children are anxious and nervous, and Christine is anxious and nervous as well. The children are worried that this is moving too fast, because it seems it's less than 6 weeks and already they've looked at a wedding venue. They're already talking about marriage, which is amazing. You want to know that your relationship is heading towards marriage if that's your goal, but still at the same time, I understand where the children are coming from. There is the issue of the PDA. The children are not comfortable with seeing their mom sort of have PDA, because this is something that the sister wives always said they try to avoid in front of the other sister wives. So I assume they didn't do that in front of the children as well. So the children are uncomfortable. David walks in, and you have Peyton make a joke which didn't land, because he says, "Hi, Richard," and it's like, well, it's not landing, because the children are saying when we like someone, we tease them, we mock them, and it's out of love. And it's like, maybe get to know this man first before you start making inappropriate comments. He took it lightly. He didn't seem offended by it. As always, Mitch is always there, but he's always quiet, which is one thing I love about Aspen's husband, that he doesn't involve himself in the drama. Yes, you see him supporting his wife, but he never really has anything to say. So they have conversations where Christine reveals that they've looked at wedding venue, they've got a date, which the children are sort of antsy about, to say you can't sort of have your wedding soon after Gwendolyn has her birthday or engagement party or something. And the mom is saying, well, we need to book a venue, and that's the best time we had. And it's like, this is moving at the speed of lightning, and hopefully this ends well for you, because it would be really sad for you to sort of bum rush this and then it doesn't work out. Christine reveals that her dad has given her hand in marriage. David asked, and her dad was happy for him to marry her. And it's like, her dad would be happy for her to marry a stick, if it means keeping her away from Kody, because I think the dad has seen how much of a jerk Kody has been. Kody on his part says, you know, he knows as soon as Christine said she was going to Utah, she was going to start dating. So this is something that he expected from her, and is not surprised by it. What do I think? I don't know. I really don't know, because it makes you nervous and anxious to say that this is moving very fast. And for Christine to say that she likes this man and she sees a future with him, amazing. But also at the same time, take caution and just see how things go first. I don't know, maybe because she believes in soulmates and she thinks this is her soulmate and this is why she's ready to marry him. Some people say when you know, but still give it time. Yeah, I support shows that allow marriage on the spot, but still, I think at this age, she can't afford to make another mistake. Given the mistake she made with Kody, she can't afford to make another mistake. But then, hey, who am I to judge? Janelle supports this relationship. She says she's happy. She loves David, and she loves the fact that, he looked after all his children. And it's like the shade. It's the shade. You know, the fact that he looked after his children when his wife died and he's got good relationships with his children. This is something that she loves about him. I said, when Kody sees this, he's going to be upset. As he said, he wishes he could have remained friends with Christine, but he felt betrayed. And it's like, yeah, because she set off a cascade of events. The moment she left, everybody else left behind her. So what can you do? So you have Kody celebrating his 55th birthday, and he's sort of reflecting on the past 5 years from when he celebrated his 50th birthday, and the fact that his family looks totally different, and he's had to sort of reassess his values and see whether he still is where he was then. And it's like, he's talking about, oh, I've got this sweet space with my wife and my children, and then the rest of my family spread all over. And it's like, this is the reason why your other children don't want to talk to you, because you don't refer to them as your children. You refer to them as the other, as though they are not part of the core of your family. So for them, if you're not going to consider them the core of your family, then they are going to keep it moving and look for their own core elsewhere. Oh, I always imagined, 6 of my older children living across the road from me with their spouses. Yes, that would have been amazing. But if you're saying the worst things ever about their mothers and treating their mothers terribly, who do you think is going to want to come and live across the street from you? You're not treating their mothers fairly. What do you expect them to do? Children are going to align with their mothers, especially if their mothers are loving, caring, nurturing, and are always there for them. You can't fight that. And for him to say, I want to be a dad again, and it's like, what changed? You were a dad before. What changed? You need to look for the common denominator, the thing that came into your family and rocked your world, or whether it was an idea, whether it was a person. You need to look for that and ask yourself, is that person or that thing more important to you than the rest of your family? Or is the rest of your family more important? If they are, then you need to do the work in order to win them back. And so you have Robin saying, oh, Kody's been struggling, he's been crying. And it's like, please don't lie to us. This is the same thing you were doing to Meri. You were saying to Meri, oh, Kody's devastated. He thinks about you. He this, that, and the other. We're not little children. Stop lying to us. We can't see what we see. And so for you to try and sort of make it seem like this man is very emotional. If he was that emotional, if he was that concerned about the rest of his family, he'd make efforts to go and reunite with his family. And you would make efforts to make him reunite with his family off camera. You don't need to be coming on camera and crying and then going away and doing the totally opposite. Anyway, she gets on my last nerve. So you have Christina and David. They go ring shopping. This is moving at the speed of lightning. They're already choosing wedding bands, engagement bands. And it's like, if you love it, we love it for you. I root for love. So if she's happy, I'm happy for her. I think Christina is trying to do everything that she didn't get to do the first time round. And she actually says it. I remember a while ago in a couple of reviews, I think last season, when I said that I feel like the reason why Christina left, or the moment she realized that it was time for her to leave, was when she saw her children getting married, or when she saw Madison getting married, and realized that there is more to life than just you putting up with somebody else's crap. And so this is why she's at a point whereby she's doing everything within her power to try and make sure that she gets everything she wanted. She doesn't want to sort of waste her time waiting around when she knows that she could do better. So if she loves it, I love it for her. So you have Kody and Janelle meet up for a chat. And so they're put in an isolated place, and he's all excited. He's all giddy. Oh, this is nice and, exclusive, blah, 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 blah. And I think he felt like Janelle was coming to him, cap in hand, to beg him to say, okay, I've reached, I've had my aha moment, and I'm ready to come back to you, my Lord, and serve you, my Lord, and all will be fine. And so he came in as though nothing had happened. And it's like, Kody, the last couple of times we've seen you and Janelle, you've butted heads. The least you could do is come in and say, hi, how are you? How are the kids? At least find out about your kids first before you get into any conversations. And for him to play ignorant and say to Janelle, I feel like Robin and Kody were having conversations about his meetups. First with Meri and then now with Janelle. Because with Meri, when he got there and he was asking Meri, so where do we go from here? And Meri told him, we're done. He was surprised. Seriously, I think he expected to still have his hooks in her and for her to say, oh, we'll continue to do business together and whatever. But she said, no, we're exes, we're moving on. And the same thing has happened with Janelle, because Janelle asking him to buy her out took him by surprise, because he's saying, oh, you've jumped to the end. And it's like, to the end of what? You and I didn't plan anything. Is that what you agreed with the producers? I didn't agree to that. Make it make sense. Why are you saying I've jumped to the end? I'm just asking you, we're due to pay this property. Let's pay this property. If you don't want to pay the property, that's fine. Give me my share and I'll keep it stepping. And he doesn't want to hear that. And it's like, so what do you want, Sherlock Holmes? What do you want? You want her to continue to stay in this marriage where she's not happy, where she's not valued. For him to refuse to discuss any issues that Janelle has and yet want to still continue in this marriage doesn't make sense. I feel like in his confessionals, he's trying to sort of redeem himself, and he's trying to make himself look good and make it seem like he's not bothered by the other three, the OG three leaving him, because he's saying, Janelle and I discussing reconciliation is just a waste of time because we both know we don't want to reconcile. No, you are now saying that because Janelle told you that she's not going to reconcile with you because she doesn't feel like she's a priority. She doesn't feel like she's on the same wavelength as your other wife. And Christine had already said this, that Janelle needs to understand that if she's going back to Robin's husband. She's not going back to her husband. And for Janelle is at the same point that Meri is at, in the sense that they don't care anymore, because they've always been, the two of them, his diplomatic wives. They've never said anything derogatory about him. Christine didn't care. She would say whatever came to mind, but Meri and Janelle have always tried to sort of be sort of respectful, and now they've lost all that respect for this man. They are saying and doing whatever they want, and they just don't care. And for him to refuse to do that doesn't make sense. For him to say, I'm trying to make amends with her so that I can be in good graces with my children. Well, even if you're in good graces with Janelle, it will take a lot for your children to forgive you for everything you've done to their mother. Their mother lived in a trailer while you and your wife lived in McMansion. So the idea and the audacity to think that you saying, let's move on, she's going to move on, and your children are suddenly going to accept that, is a lie. I don't know where you're getting that from, because you know that your children are very strong-willed. Janelle has, and Meri, I remember at one point when the children were clashing with Robin, said we brought our children up to be independent thinkers. And because they're independent thinkers, they're not going to buy whatever you're trying to sell them. You might as well give Janelle her money, give Meri her money, and keep it stepping. If the children want to make amends with you, or if you want to make amends with your children, then you'll have to do that at your own dime. But you can't expect, to shine a shiny object in these women's eyes and then expect them to say, okay, fine, I'll ask my children to make up with you. That's not going to work. I have this thing whereby I always root for the underdog or the outsider, especially if I feel that they haven't done anything to warrant the negative feedback they're getting. Anyway, with Meri, I know Meri has her issues, but I somehow have a very soft spot for Meri. So we get to see Meri, it's her birthday. She is sort of just excited because she gets to see her carriage house. And I said this before, I'm going to say this again. I know I always bring back the stuff I've said before. This house was the catalyst for Kody deciding to be very vindictive and malicious to Meri, in my opinion. Yes, he decided to pull away the moment he got Robin, but this house is the most painful spot for Kody, in the sense that Meri bought this house with her money after Kody and the family refused to give her a loan, and she kept it in the family and refused to bring it into the Brown family assets. And this was the problem for her, because Meri buying this house and keeping it in her family allowed Christine to buy her house in Flagstaff when they moved to Flagstaff, because she realized that if Meri, that's just me thinking, that she realized that if Meri's got an asset, I'm going to have my own asset, because this was Meri's asset, and Kody and his wives didn't have any access to that. Because we get to see Meri, as she's seeing her carriage house. She is ecstatic because her friend has been renovating it with her other friend Jen sort of supervising it, and she's ecstatic with the results. We all know she's a control freak, and she likes to control where every single thing is, and she says she's really done everything independently as a single person, and so she's very proud of her accomplishments. She's got this online clothing business that she does, and I remember she used to have a job where she actually used to go to. So we get to see a clip of Meri sitting there with Janelle and Kody, and Meri sort of asking for a $40,000 loan, I think from the family funds, and Kody saying we'll have to revisit it, and Meri said, and you see Janelle sort of saying, but I think, and Kody immediately shuts her off, and Meri says, okay, fine, I'm going. I have to go and raise this money myself. I have to work my butt off. Don't expect me at any functions because this is what I'm doing. And I feel like that house, Liz's heritage, was the catalyst, because Kody was used to taking these women's money, and suddenly for Meri to get something and tell everyone that this is for my family. This has nothing to do with the Browns. This is staying in my family. That was the reason why Kody got upset. And he must have gone home and had a conversation with his wife to say the audacity for her to keep away this money from us. What does she think she's doing? Because that Liz's Heritage Inn became her asset that she was able to do, sort of get funds from, to use to pay the loan, either through leasing it or whatever. And so for him, I feel like he felt like, she cheated him out of money. That's the impression that I get, because Kody has been used to Janelle and Meri being the main breadwinners for his family and helping him support his wishes, his favorite wife's wishes, and the other wives, because Christine mainly looked after the children, so the other two were the main breadwinners. And Meri buying this house and keeping it in her side of the family and not crossing it over to the Brown side of the family was the reason why Kody got so angry with Meri and could never see himself reconciling, because he realized that she was keeping stuff away from him, and there was a possibility that she could leave him with that money, and he wanted that money to sort of spend and lavish on his favorite wife. Am I the only one who truly believes that Kody walked into that meeting with Janelle with a script from Robin, that he and Robin had sat down and discussed and come up with ideas of how they were going to sort of entangle Janelle, not realizing that Janelle is the smartest tool in the box. She is going to outsmart the two of them combined, and so there's no way they were ever going to outsmart her in any way, because they continue this conversation with Kody sort of saying to Janelle, so what's happening with the reconciliation? Are you open to it? I want a partnership with you. And it's like, how are you in a partnership when she is the workhorse and you then go and sit down and make decisions with somebody else? Make it make sense. I don't get it, because obviously Janelle reveals that there was a time they were trying to buy Robin's house, and she said to Robin, I don't think we should do it because it's going to take a big chunk of the money. And it was a conversation between Robin and Janelle. This is why I think Christine said, I don't want anything to do with Robin, because it seems like Robin would come to the sister wives, they would have conversations with her, and then she'd run and report back to Kody. And Robin is saying, oh, well, I don't see anything wrong with it. I was just trying to sort of say to Kody, Janelle and I agree that, this is what we should do. No, she knew exactly what she was doing. She knew that she could get him to turn against Janelle, and this is why she said that. And so for him to say we'll be equal, Janelle is saying, I want a relationship where I'm treated as an equal. And it seems, irregardless of their issues with Meri and Christine, they were always treated fairly up until Robin came in. And then Robin came in and decided that she wanted to be numero uno, priority number one wife. And so that will never change, because he refuses to discuss Robin, her involvement in their marriages or in the family breakdown. So how does he expect a reconciliation in that case? How does he expect a reconciliation? They get to the talk about the property. Janelle saying, I've spoken to the lawyer, and the lawyer said I need to come with you because he wants to sit down with the two of us, and we can have a conversation and look at the lease or the agreement that we signed, because it's a terrible agreement, and we're in the situation whereby our land could be taken away. And Kody saying, well, she thinks I might outsmart her. She's trying to outsmart me. This is why she wants to go with me. And it's like, that's not the situation. If you look at the property, they show a map of the property. It's divided into 4. Kody has a share in every single property of the 4 lots. Janelle has 2, and Robin has the bigger lot, and then a smaller lot that's sort of equivalent to what Janelle has. So more or less, you wouldn't be surprised if Robin ends up with 2/3 of the property. And the property that Meri is on, she shares with Kody and Janelle, and it's like, make it make sense. Why is she having to share? At the end of the day, it should have been divided in 3. That's it. Because Janelle and Meri worked harder for this family than Kody ever did with his beloved wife. So for the idea that they suddenly want to benefit from this doesn't make sense. This is why I said McMansion should be sold, Coyote Pass should be sold, the money should be divided. Meri and Janelle should get to take their money with interest for the increase in value from the time that they bought the property. So if they bought it for 1 million and it's now worth 2 million, they need a share of that 2 million as well, because that's their money that they invested in the property. So if Kody and Robin are going to benefit from that, they deserve to benefit just as they deserve to benefit from Coyote Pass. That's my opinion. And sadly, Kody, I think, doesn't want to do that. I think he wants to sort of outsmart or outwit these women out of these properties, not realizing that they're way smarter than he ever will be on any given day. And I hope they take him to the cleaners, and I hope they take at least 50% of their property and leave him with 50%, if not a third of it. He deserves a third, they deserve 2/3, and everybody needs to keep it moving. Robin did not bring anything into the family outside of debt. That's my opinion, and I'll stick by it. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 7. Bye guys.